Simon, roll call first of all. Have you got any bodies coming back?
No, not this week, but definitely we'll have some next week. So thankfully, hopefully we haven't lost anyone from last week. Matty English has pulled up a bit sore, but thankfully it's a long week, and him and Ollie Roberts have pulled up with minor things, but we're hopeful both those guys will be available. So 9-day turnaround's helped us, so you know, we're hoping at the back end of this week those guys will be right to go.
So 18 available again?
Yeah, Colton Roach will be available for selection. Adam O'Brien's back. Sorry, there is two back, but yeah, those two guys will be up. But we expected those two to be back this week. But as far as the main group that have been missing for a while, we're expecting those guys to start filtering back in for Wakefield game.
Just to keep checking on Leroy's progress.
Yeah, look, Leroy's heading in the right direction. That's, you know, Leroy's a funny one. It's you know, it's been a little bit of one step forward, two steps back, but the last couple of weeks he seems to be making some real progress. So we're going to start pushing him along more now, and look, it'd be nice to have him back, you know, in 2 or 3 weeks' time. But that's certainly the goal, and we're hoping it's achievable.
On the subject of players, 3 new faces in the Knights squad as well. How's that been received here?
Yeah, it's very good. You know, it's great. It's a great reward for those guys. They've worked hard, and I think they've played pretty well. And, you know, Cruz was obviously in it last year, and it's good to see OB get some recognition for the year he had last year too. So Darnell, I think, you know, he's shown that you know, he's taken a real liking to fullback. He can play equally as well on the wing, and he's a fair centre too, Darnell, when we throw him in there at training. So you know, all those guys certainly deserve it.
You mentioned Cruz, who keeps his place in the Knights. How would you quantify his form right now?
Yeah, Cruz has been fantastic. You know, you know, when I first got here, you know, I knew Cruz was a player with immense talent. We just, you know, he had some areas of his game he needed to improve on, and we did, you know, we butted heads early, you know, Cruz and I, but he understands now, and I think he looks back now and realises the great improvements he's made in his game and his discipline, and you know, he's been a fantastic for us. You know, early this year he's been very creative out of dummy half. He's created plenty of opportunities. His defence has been, you know, really high standard. So he's doing a lot of things right at the moment, Cruz. He just needs to you know, make sure he keeps heading in that direction and keeps looking to improve every week. And you know, there's no reason if he does that you know, he can have more and more representative offers down the track.
And hooker to hooker, have you had any specific sort of involvements in helping him? Oh
yeah, no, look, here and there. Look, we always, you know, always grab Cruz on the run about things, whether it's from a defensive point of view or an attacking point of view. I'm not one of those coaches that, you know, because I played hooker, I'm not going to, you know, drive Cruz mad. You know, I pick the things I need to talk to him about, and I'll let Cruz go on his way. But obviously, when I see things there where he needs to improve, we have a quick chat about it, and he's very open to learning and getting better, Cruz. And I don't think, you know, I think that's an area of his personality he's improved since I first got here. So I think, you know, his openness to getting better and improving and learning, I think that's contributed a lot to the improvements we see on the field with him.
London, first trip for this group down there. What are you expecting?
Oh, well, you know, we're expecting a tough game. I mean, Wakefield went down there round 1 and they were leading 16-6 after 15-20 minutes, and they got beat. Wigan were up 12-0 and they got beaten. Hull went down there on the weekend and were up by 14 and nearly got beaten. So we know they're a team that's not going to go away. They've won 3 or 4 games this year. So I think, you know, there's been a couple of teams guilty of taking them lightly. We certainly won't be doing that. So we can't afford to take anyone lightly. We need to make sure, you know, we've got our own backyard in order, and that's the focus for us this week.
Have you been on the 3G more than normal this week at all?
No, not really, because the 3G that we've got access to is, you know, some of the boys pull up quite sore from training on there. It's quite hard. I think it needs redoing, to be honest. It's not a, you know, it's not that real benefit for us, to be honest. So we just have too many guys, you know, Jez and Arku and those sort of guys with the ankle problems they've got. They just pull up too sore. So well, we're just training on what we've got this week on the field. The grounds, thankfully, the rain stayed away for a bit, so the grounds aren't too bad, and we'll go with that this week.
You know the sort of game that surface engenders, though. It will suit the Giants as well as London.
Yeah, I think so. Look, obviously it's a faster surface, but I don't think look too much into the surface at times. We just need to make sure we prepare well this week and go down there. It doesn't matter what surface we're playing on. We just need to play well. We need to have that collective effort from 17 players like we saw last week, and I know if we get that we're going to give ourselves every possible chance.
And what would back-to-back wins for the first time this season do for the group?
Will be huge for us. The win last week no doubt will give us some confidence, but going down to London and getting a win this week would be fantastic. As far as our confidence and getting a little bit of momentum coming into a couple of tough games down the after London, another 2 tough games. So it's important we go down there and play well, play with plenty of energy, plenty of effort, match London's enthusiasm in the early stages, and they're all things that we can control.
Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
No, Hull went down the night before last week and had an overnight stay. Are you doing that, or are you going down?
Yeah, we'll go down Saturday. We'll train, go down Saturday, and obviously play Sunday. We need to come straight back because we've got a Friday night game against Wakefield the week after, so it's a short turnaround. So club's been really good there. We'll prepare well. Like I said, we'll be giving ourselves every possible chance of playing well.
You mentioned there butting heads with Cruz. As a coach, you must do that a lot with players. And what's it like when they finally realise that you were right first time round?
Well, I'm not saying I'm not always right, but Cruz was. He had a decision to make. Cruz. I mean, like I said, he was one player I did know a little bit about. That he was a 9 that had plenty of ability, but hadn't quite reached that potential yet. And I think there was a game there against Hull KR last year where we put him back to the bench the week after, and I'm sure Cruz thought we were picking on him, but we were it was some things we had to make Cruz aware of that he needed to improve to make sure he started to realise the potential that everyone saw what he had in him, and it was important for us that we told Cruz what he needed to hear, not what he wanted to hear. And I think it was hard early for him, but now he's one of those players that's always looking for feedback. Now it's not a matter of me going to him; he comes to us and wants feedback. So it's a credit to how he's been able to turn that around.
What was the initial thing that you thought you really needed to address back then?
Oh well, Cruz's discipline wasn't great. We played Hull KR there, and he gave away 3 or 4 penalties in the first 20 minutes, and he was one of the most penalised players in Super League. I think he was number 2. So, we sat down with him and went through a lot of the penalties he was given away, and we explained to him how he needs to improve and needs to be better. And again, that's at the start it was hard for Cruz, but I think then he missed quite a bit of footy through injury, and he came back. I started to see improvements in Cruz when he came back from the injury last year. The last 2 or 3 games, he was really, really good for us, and he's come back and been fantastic in the pre-season. Done a lot of extra work on his game, and I'm just glad for Cruz that it's shown in the way he's playing.